Welcome back to a Criminally Basic podcast. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Megan.
And so this week's episode I got again from TikTok because, that's what I do half the time. This week's case is the disappearance of Alicia Navarro. So I don't know if you've heard of this case, Megan.
The name is familiar. I think I've probably heard it in passing, but I can't think of any of the details surrounding it.
So let's just get into a little bit about Alicia. She was born September 20th. She was immune compromised. She was on the autism spectrum, but she was described as high functioning. The reason why I mention this first is it's going to come into play later, so just keep that in mind. She was described as shy and sweet and a little reclusive, but that's just due to her having social anxieties and also her autism playing into that as well.
Okay, yeah, so like a few physical things, a few developmental things, but overall very high functioning, and it doesn't severely impact her day-to-day life. Okay.
No, nothing at all besides that, but nothing. She took medicine. She had a learning, I think it was called a learning coach or a behavioral coach.
Mm-hmm.
And she was doing extremely well from what her parents were saying and her friends. Yeah. Though her mom did encourage her to become more social because she had friends, but socially wasn't her expertise. She would text her friends, and she also liked to message her friends through gaming messaging systems, such as through Minecraft and other stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So fun games like that. She was big onto gaming. She was also a big reader too. She was also the cutest little girl ever.
Oh.
I keep saying, when you look at her, she's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but she looks a lot younger than her age. So when this happened, she was 14.
Okay.
She probably looked maybe 10. She was 4'5" and 95 pounds.
Yeah, she does look very young. She definitely doesn't look 14. I would say, yeah, around 10.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I would guess. But I mean, then again, I think that anyone younger than me looks 10. Yeah. So
I mean, I think I look younger than how old I am, but
yeah.
It's fine. It's the joys of having a baby face.
There you go.
So, okay. Let's get into the timeline so we can kind of understand what had happened. So, Alicia went to school like normal on the 11th and 12th of September in 2019. The next day, Alicia didn't go to school on the 13th because she was having some anxiety, and her mom knew this was a big issue for her. So she decided to let her stay home, and they just decided to have a nice girls' day. They went and got their eyebrows threaded, went and ate at this restaurant. Normal mother-daughter stuff.
Yeah.
From my sources, I really couldn't get a clear picture of what happened on the 14th. So we're just going to assume it was a normal day.
Mm-hmm.
But when everything started to go wrong, it was on the 15th.
Okay.
So around 1 a.m. on the 15th, Alicia asked her mom what time she was going to bed. Her mom didn't really think nothing of it. Whatever. She was waiting on for her husband to get back from work. Well, sometime after that, they all went to bed. Jessica, her mother, woke up first, around 7 a.m. to make breakfast for her husband, Alicia, and her two younger siblings. But when Jessica got downstairs, she noticed the back door was open, which wasn't open when she went to bed.
How far open? Was it just cracked, or was it wide open?
From what it was saying, it was open, but it really didn't give an indication of it was wide open or just kind of cracked. But we know for a fact it was open.
Gotcha.
So Jessica went to check outside to see, why is the door open? What she saw was several chairs lined up against the backyard wall. Yes. And Jessica thought Alicia wouldn't do that. So she went to her room to check to see if Alicia was okay, what was going on.
Okay, so wait.
Yes.
back up for a second. Explain to me how these chairs are. So she looks outside, there are some chairs lined up, and I'm presuming that they're under her window.
No. From the pictures I got, there wasn't many. I mostly saw it from a news article, not article, but a news video.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a stereotypical back door, like a fence,
Okay.
in the sense of she had a little patio, a backyard, and then the fence. And the chairs were lined up against the fence.
Oh, against the fence. Okay.
Yes. So it looked like someone had used it to climb over it.
Okay. Was there not like a gate to the fence?
I wasn't, I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay.
Most of the details in this case are pretty clear,
Mm-hmm.
but there's just some small things that have been left out, that which who knows if it's just small enough that it doesn't amount to anything or it's guilty evidence.
Right, right.
We're not 100% sure on that. When Jessica went to see where Alicia was and discovered she wasn't there, she first discovered her cell phone and her computer wasn't there, but her chargers was.
Okay.
But then Jessica found a note.
Oh, no.
The note said, and I quote, "I ran away. I will be back. I swear I'm sorry. Alicia."
What?
Yes.
Okay, so that to me doesn't make much sense. If you're running away, why say you're coming back?
We're not sure.
I Okay, keep going.
So Alicia's mom and stepdad reported her missing in the early morning hours of September 16th, 2019. The Glendale Police, oh, I should have mentioned this earlier. This happened in Glendale, Arizona. So they called, told the police everything. They got billboards up and they issued a silver alert.
A silver alert?
A silver alert. Okay, let me explain. I have it written down right here and I also have it on my phone. So, an Amber Alert is usually of a younger child that's under the age of 18. Well, a Silver Alert is for older people, mentally disabled people, or physically disabled people.
Oh, okay. So it's for like higher risk people.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though, yes, children are very high risk too, but these are...
Right. This is, if you see this person, if you come across this person, there is something else going on that you need to keep in mind.
Yes.
Okay,
Exactly.
gotcha.
So I was a little confused at that first, but after I looked it up and I know her physical and mental history, is that?
Mm-hmm.
Her element, yeah. It makes a lot more sense. So a few days went, they were searching, but they got extra worried because a few days later was her birthday on the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't hear from her. And this is a quote from what her mom says. And this is also going back to on the runaway part. So that night she said, "We didn't fight. There was no reason for her to leave. We even had plans for her birthday. My family was going to come and we were going to celebrate. I already ordered the cake." End quote.
That's just tragic. I mean, like, yeah, my first thought was, okay, she's a teenager. She left a note. The fact that she said that she would be back, I think kind of confuses me because I think typically when teenagers run away, they're not planning on coming back. But considering that she left her charger, I think that that's pretty apparent.
Yeah. And also, you have to keep in mind, she does have high functioning autism.
Mm-hmm.
So that also could play into a tiny bit of the reasoning in the message.
Right, but I mean, if she hadn't had a history of of wanting to run away before, or any sort of tumultuous relationship with her parents, anything like that going on in the house, I mean, my first thought, and correct me if I'm stealing your thunder here, but my first thought is, okay, if she's messaging people online, she's young enough to maybe not be super aware of the dangers that can come from that.
We're getting into that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the Glendale police aren't sure if she was lured away or went willingly.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some theories that she had met someone online who was pretending to be someone else than who they said. She left willingly, thinking nothing of it, and then ended up getting into a not so great situation.
Yeah.
They aren't 100% sure, but that's what their strongest possibility is.
That's kind of my first thought too, considering, all of the factors.
Yeah. And
Um,
even her mom, Jessica, said she was very lax on who she was friends with. She really didn't, not necessarily not monitor, but she was just very relaxed.
yeah, and I think, if you have a kid who has social anxiety and making friends is hard for them, if they have found a medium through which they can communicate effectively to people and feel like they can connect to people over games, over the internet, what have you, then yeah, I can totally understand as a parent being like, yeah, I'm going to let my kid do this because it's what they feel comfortable doing.
Yeah, especially with something like Minecraft. You think of it as, even though yes, I know adults play Minecraft, but you
I
think
play Minecraft. I love Minecraft.
Minecraft's great, but like sometimes you do think of it,
It's a
there's
kid's
a lot
game.
of, yeah, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of tiny humans that play it. It's not,
right.
it's like The Sims. It's not a bad game.
Hmm.
There's nothing like bad. So you're like, oh, it's just Minecraft. It's fine.
Right.
And like I was saying before, like besides being missing, which is terrible alone, but Alicia has a compromised immune system. She takes medication, and also on the autism spectrum, her family is just extra worried on top of everything. And especially because she, like I was saying earlier, she looks a lot younger than what she actually is.
Yeah, no, she definitely doesn't look like a teenager. And I
No.
think part of our understanding of what teenagers look like is what they present on social media. I'm not friends with teenagers, but um,
No, no
from
teenagers
what
I'm
I
friends with.
see,
Yeah. They look older than what
hmm,
she did.
yeah, I mean, because when you're a teenager, you want to seem more mature than you actually are,
Yeah.
especially if you're talking to potentially older people
Yeah.
online. But I mean, yeah, she has a baby face.
Yeah. And also 4'5" is very short. I'm very short.
Hmm.
I'm 5'1".
Yeah,
That's a common thing. If you're tiny, people automatically think you're younger than what you are.
exactly. Yeah.
So let's get into what she was wearing, what she looks like, and some other just random information about this. So Alicia has been missing for over a year now. September 15th, 2020 was the year mark. Alicia's mom is still holding out hope that she will be found. Um, Hopefully with TikTok and everything going around on social media, we'll be able to bring her home safe and sound and find out who took her. But unfortunately, as of September 15th, 2020, there is no new leads. What When she first went missing, a lot of the leads and stuff ended up making everyone more confused than actually was helpful in the situation. There was one report of a woman seeing Alicia walking hand in hand with an older guy, but nothing ever came through with that. It's almost like a dead end happened.
Hmm.
So, Alicia would have turned 15 on September 20th, 2019. She's now believed to be 16 years old, will be turning 17 this year. She has brown hair, brown eyes, and has braces. She is 4'5" and weighs 95 pounds. She may be wearing a sweatshirt, a whitewashed denim overall skirt, black and white Vans type sneakers, and carrying a silver Apple MacBook Pro laptop. So, Alicia's mom has a TikTok, and there's web pages all over to hopefully spread awareness of her case. If you or anyone has any information on Alicia's whereabouts, please call Glendale Police at 623-930-3000. There is also a $20,000 reward for her safe return, which is so sad.
Yeah. So my question is, they think that she may have met someone online.
Yes.
Have they been able to get into her messages and look at who she was messaging?
If they have, they haven't released it.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the articles say about the same thing, if not a variation of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad because there's not very much information about this case.
Yeah.
As a whole. Which, unfortunately, there's not much like DNA evidence if she went willingly. Yeah, it's very sad.
I hate this.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. And just, hopefully they can get this poor, sweet little girl home.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though, yes, she's almost an adult now, she's a baby.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening to a Criminally Basic podcast. If you want to find more, find us at a Criminally Basic podcast on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube.
And if you'd like to see our sources as well as photos, visit us online at www.acriminallybasicpodcast.podbean.com.
Woo, bye.
Bye.